Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. Today's guests are members of the Halo Foundation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I will let the three of you introduce yourself. I'll start with you, Anthony.
My name is Anthony Mocha.
Heidi Myers. Cassie Moulton, part of the Halo Foundation. Anthony and Heidi are actually co-founders of the Dirty 40 and the Rasputin's Bike Race.
But they help you out a lot.
They help us out a lot, yeah, definitely.
And you're one of the founders of the Halo.
I'm not one of the founders. The founders are Todd and Hillary Wright.
Right.
But I am definitely one of the family members who have really come on board and worked a lot for Halo.
So let's start off by, what is Halo?
Halo is a foundation that was developed after Matt Wright is my boyfriend, and his brothers lost their mother to cancer.
Okay.
Saw the struggles that they went through financially. So we've created the foundation to help assist Orleans County, the community, with anyone who's dealing with cancer. Either it's financial, helpful as just sometimes people just want to talk. Sometimes other people just need help with throwing in wood. Lawn keeping, stuff like that. So it's just a community foundation that helps support anybody in need that's dealing with cancer.
Now it appears that you have turned into the go-to people to donate to, because now I read the obituaries and I see donate to the Halo Fund. It seems like you're everywhere. Are you growing?
We are growing, definitely, and part of our growth is definitely the bike races. Because when you put on something that is for the community, but also for outside of the community, it really helps drive that community foundation of it. The Halo Foundation has grown. We're still growing, but I think it's just cancer's affecting everybody. And part of it is that you help someone, and especially in this area, a little bit of help goes for a great amount of appreciation. So I think people just really want to help give back when we've supported them.
And I think the one reason that people, well, there's numerous reasons people donate to you, but I think the big one is the money stays local. And
that's a huge one for people.
Yeah, and you don't have, like you can donate to other organizations, and only a percentage of it is going to actually go to the cause. How much of the money goes to the cause with you?
It's typically 100%. There are some expenses, but all the money that we use from the foundation to pay for something goes back into the foundation itself. So it's 100% of the proceeds go to, there's no paid employees for the Halo Foundation, none. Everyone's doing it voluntarily. These guys as well. They're not paid to help out Halo. They do it because it's a strong community sense. So
yeah. So besides helping out people with cancer, you're also, well, like the three of you, you're actually doing it for the community as well. All right, the two of you, you've put on how many races?
We're headed into our 4th in April.
Now, what are the races? Because they're kind of unique races. At least one of them is.
Yeah, they're gravel road races. So
bike races.
Bike races, and they take advantage of the dirt roads that we have in our area, which we have a lot of.
Yeah, but they're not only gravel. One of them you have to go up over, virtual mountain, carrying your bike through the snow and through the mud while you have a abominable snowman or something coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, I mean, woodland creatures are always part of our race, and they will continue to be so. It's technically it's a class 4 road, so it's not really maintained, but it's still considered, part of that gravel tradition. And we took an old school approach to things, and with the history of cycling and even cyclocross, many times the conditions were just like that during the race, and so we integrated that into our race.
I always am apologetic for saying this, is it seems so much more fun than a walkathon or something, and there is a place for those, but I think what you're doing is you're raising money for a good cause, but you're bringing a lot of excitement and entertainment to the region.
That's a big part of it. Is we want to bring people into our area and get the area involved and bringing people into our area, not just considering the people who are already involved. Our volunteers have been exceptional.
We have some of the best volunteers.
We want a full grown event that the whole town shuts down for at some point. That's what we'd really love to see.
Our local participation has grown over the last few years too. I think our last race we had 350 participants, but I think 15 of those were local.
Right. And then you've also brought some real competitors from around the country, and including one Tour de France person.
Yes, Ted King. He's racing again this year pro. He's already signed up for our April race. Don't know if he'll be able to make it with professional race schedules, but he is trying to. We've also had a para-Olympian, Lynn Bissett from Canada, and her husband Tim Johnson, who's a multinational champion cyclist in Canada as
Now,
well.
how do you actually do this though? Because I've done a lot of events on a local level. How do you reach out to these people? And when they say yes, are you surprised?
We're always surprised.
Yeah.
I think we've always been shocked we've always had large goals for ourselves to begin with, but and we've always been really surprised and excited about those that, have come to our race or those who have considered coming to our race. I don't know. It's
Heidi's the master of marketing, social media. She can reach out and get us into, where's the furthest person who's participated? Give him some areas that have come.
I think for the race in April, we might have some people coming from Colorado. There's even been conversations with the 7-time Tour de France winner coming as well.
What's his name? I'm
Lance
drunk.
Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong.
Which comes with pros and cons. So
Right.
there's definitely people that are pro for that, and definitely people that are very against that.
I could dope up as much as I wanted to, and he could be off his bike for like 5 years, and
he'd still win.
He'd still win easily. So is that the one that? Because you had one last year that was in Newport, but you've moved it to Burke.
Yeah.
Which race is that?
The Rasputitsa, we've moved down to Kingdom Trails, and we've partnered with them. They've actually been a huge supporter of the event, of Dirty 40 and Rasputitsa, when literally it was just an idea in our heads. And they were right behind us saying, let's go for it, let's do it. So we've had some challenges with our race in Newport, so we decided, they are begging for us to bring their race down there, and we did. And they're going to provide so much support that it really made us really not even think twice about it.
And Burke has become quite the cycling capital too. So I can imagine you're as excited about going there as they are about having you be there. Because you didn't, without going into details, you didn't always get that feeling from when you were in Newport.
No, not always, but this is. It's been a different type of support, and we've gotten great support from the local community in Derby with the Dirty 40, which
will remain in
which
Derby.
will remain in Derby. But the incentives to just bring this race to Burke took a lot off our plate as far as what we needed to do in order to get ready, and so we could focus on different aspects to help grow the event. That to us, it speaks volumes.
And this spring, we'll also start our first trail run in cooperation again with the Halo Foundation and Northwood Stewardship Center. We'll take a part in that.
Trail run, is this, I've been noticing people who have never really ran before, they're getting involved in all these different extreme sports of running and crawling underneath things.
Obstacles, courses, yeah.
Is there going to be any of that?
There won't be obstacles, but it's again growing on that get off of the main road trail dirt road aspect. So it'll go the entire length of the CCC road in Westmore. So
Right.
starting in Westmore, heading over towards Barton and back. So it'll be about an 8-mile round trip trail run.
That's not going to be.
Nothing
that's
that we
not-
do is easy.
That's not going to be for the faint of heart.
No.
No, you're definitely gonna want to train.
Right. I think I've mentioned this before. Well, as Anthony knows, my two boys are kind of like semi-professional runners, and they take part in one race up in Maine occasionally. They have, I think it's kind of like the junk food challenge. It's kind of it actually kind of pokes fun at their lifestyle of running. Instead, they go from, like, I'm just going to make up some names. They run to McDonald's, and McDonald's is
I've
all
heard
set up.
something about that.
You've got to down like 2 hamburgers, and then you run, and you pick up a milkshake at the next place, and a piece of pizza, and they have that up there every year in Maine.
I would die.
It just kind of it's actually I think the real good runners kind of enjoy it because they're able to make poke fun
Right.
at their lifestyles.
Mhm.
So no junk food.
No junk food.
No, just not one of those things that we had thought of. So.
Although we typically have some pretty interesting feed zones.
Yeah, definitely.
So which one comes first? Is it the Reds?
Rasputitsa.
Is that one's
That
first?
will be April 11th.
April 11th, and that's going to be in Burke.
Correct.
And if somebody wants to take part in that race, what do they have to do?
They can visit our website, www.dirty40race, which is dirty40race.com.
Right. If I recall right, isn't there a maximum number?
500 is our maximum.
Right. How many did you have last year?
350. And right now, far out from the race, we're over 100 signed up already.
Right. And if I recall right, because I know some of the people who took part, not all of them are Lance Armstrong.
No.
There's just a lot of just normal people too.
Matt Wright, who's part of the Halo Foundation, participated.
He's very normal.
He's
In all
very
3
very
events.
normal. He's done all 3 events.
Right. Now, I think what you ought to do though is another one of your big supporters is Ron Wright.
Oh, you want to call him out and tell him he should do it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that would be really great of Ron.
I think you'll
Except
have
you
some.
might-
I think you'll have a phone call and some few choice words, probably from Ron.
Except for you might just lose one of your big supporters
Right.
if he gave it a whirl.
They're tough races, so it would be interesting.
Right, yeah. Maybe I'll have to have my sons come down and give it a whirl.
Yeah. The trail run will be June 7th.
June 7th, and where will that be?
The CCC road in
Oh,
Westmore.
that's right, the CCC road.
It'll actually be called the Civilian Conservation Corps Trail Run.
Right. Is that all on your website, or do you have separate websites, or how is that?
The trail run we've actually not officially launched yet,
Right.
but both other races, the Rasputitsa and the Dirty 40, can be found on our website.
I have found by watching you and other groups is this isn't just a bunch of young people either.
No, definitely not.
There's
No,
all age groups.
Our average age is between the 40 to 60 year olds, and that's the core riders that are coming to our events.
I don't think my father biked 1,000 miles last year, and he's 80. I don't think he's up to the Rasputitsa though.
Well, we did. I think the oldest participant we've had is 73,
73.
local.
Now,
Actually,
do you do it?
I am not allowed to do
We
it.
have forbidden that.
Oh, why is that?
Well, because we need it.
There's a lot of work to be done
There's a ton of work.
on race day.
He
It's-
tries every year, though.
I put my argument in, and I get shot down pretty quickly.
A lot of people who've never hosted events, they don't have a clue about the work that goes into it. My family and I have hosted numerous events, not related to, we did host a walkathon once for the veterans going to World War II Memorial, but people don't have a clue all the work that goes into it, and that's how come when you start hearing people grumbling after, it's like, oh, get a grip, where were you?
Well, it's not even, it's the race itself or any event that you do, the actual day of the event, there's tons of work, but there's so much more that goes in. I mean, I haven't even touched yet anything to do with the bike races, but Heidi's been working on them the minute Dirty 40 was over, she's already working towards the Rasputin. So there's so much more work that goes behind the scenes.
And I think that's where our partnership with the Halo Foundation really becomes strong in the community. The races would not be able to exist without them, without Cassie's help. They have a good outreach of volunteers who are strategic in getting these events to be successful. So, I mean, the little bit that we can raise for the Halo Foundation is great, but it's almost worth it for us because they're so strong in the community.
Well, it doesn't hurt that the Wright family makes up probably about 50% of Derby because they're a big family.
We do get a lot of, that is very true. The Halo Foundation gets a ton of family support, but not even just family. I mean, the community is so close-knit that we get, she's right, our volunteers we get tons of our friends out. We had people last year at the Dirty 40 just pop in and be like, oh, I heard you guys are having a bike race. Do you want to help? You know what I mean? Volunteers are, I think, the key to what we do.
Now, are you guys always this calm, or do you ever have to wring each other's necks?
The three of us are extremely similar in personality. I think Heidi might be the calmer of the three.
we have an unspoken code that what happens on race day stays at race day, and nothing's taken personal.
I was going to say that I thought you were going to say that there's no physical contact with each other.
Not yet.
Up until like the moment that everyone has crossed the finish line, I think we spend a majority of the time really running around, and we can't even get down each other's throats. If we wanted to,
we can snap.
We definitely snap. Yeah. But it's we just talk things out, and communication between all of us is huge in order to making this a success.
In the beginning of anything they do, meetings, whatever, they have little powwows. Our powwow is always, I love you. And I'll love you at the end. It's pretty much.
Do you? You're a small group though, but do you have I find that sometimes if you have meeting after meeting, you don't accomplish anything. Do you actually have meetings all the time, or do you just?
You mean for us or for Halo?
For Halo, or for the. I guess combination.
Well, for Halo itself, we've kind of it was built obviously by family, right. So that's made it difficult. Sometimes we get together and the meetings turn into more of we should do this, we should do this, we should do this, and we have 100 things going on. So now it's just more or less right now with Halo, we've kind of split it up the roles of what each of us do. So not as much. We need to get back to meetings for sure. Our meetings, however, we tend to have them sparse in the beginning, and then as we get closer, we do about once a week, but we get a ton accomplished.
Because there's a lot of groups that don't accomplish anywhere near what either Halo or your group does because they never get past the talking. There's talkers and there's doers, and that's how come I love having you come on the show. I think you've been on the radio show and the TV show because I believe in I believe in what you're doing, but I never have to worry about a dull moment.
Right.
We this past race in August, we did a great team building exercise too. We knocked door to door the entire route, which was 80 miles.
Well, it's only a 70-mile course.
70-mile course.
Well, it's hard for us to reach out to every person in the community and say, hey, this is going on. And as much as we'd love to put a pamphlet in every single person's mailbox and let them know this is happening on race day, and even coming on here and informing people this is the race dates, this is going to happen, it's impossible. It's impossible to reach out to everybody. So we decided this year we're going to knock on doors. We got in our car for several nights, and we just knock on the door. This is happening.
3 hours. That's what we would do every
several
night.
hours. And people were interesting. I mean, we met everybody out there.
When they say Holland, when they say Holland is a world of its own?
Yeah.
We learned that.
Holland is a world of its own.
Yeah, but Holland's a great community.
It's an amazing community.
Because you get some people there that, they're real rural people, and some of them, they haven't come to civilization for a while.
Well, I mean, we definitely got some enthusiasts who were excited to know that this was going to be coming back and coming past their door. For us, it's a couple of concerns is, we don't want to make any mistakes of not informing people, and we don't want anyone to get hurt on the bikes, because there's animals out there, there's farm equipment, we know what's going on that time of year, so it's to our advantage to get out and meet people. And I think it helps putting a face with a name, so we're not just an organization, but people can say, I've met this person, I know what they're doing, I know what their intentions are. Our intentions aren't to ever hinder the community and
Now, you didn't do this right during the, as you know, this last political season was very busy, and there was a lot of people knocking on doors. You didn't knock on doors right during the political season, did you?
We actually, it's funny, we had a good approach. Before we even got to the door, we'd let people know we're not soliciting anything.
We're not preaching.
We're not preaching anything.
And we're not tax collectors.
We're not tax collectors.
That was a big one in Holland.
But it really put our best foot forward as a community. Our racers recognize how receptive this community is to them coming in for the day, taking over their roads, and I mean, they exclaim about how open this community is and supportive of this race, and they don't get that same attitude when they visit other towns for races.
And I think like with Holland, because as I said, I love Holland. I love some of these small towns, and I think they're probably particularly excited because, they're not the center of activity usually. So, going to bring a little bit of excitement.
We have families sitting out on their front lawns, giving water, giving
Kids
snacks,
with lemonade.
kids with lemonade. There are areas of it that out in the rural parts of Holland or Morgan that people they just want to watch it. They think it's an exciting thing. They're impressed by people. I mean, you start telling them how long the bike race is, and everyone's eyes get really big. I think they're impressed too with what people can do.
Right. Now, Heidi, I know you contacted me because you wanted to know a little bit of the history of Holland and some photos. Did you ever, I know you were interested in the Horace
Horace
Taper.
posted that. And that's kind of what we've done a little bit to market the event. I mean, we've built off of the history of the region and what we do have to offer. I think sometimes a lot of people think, oh, this region could be great, but this region is great.
Well, sure it is. We have so many stories to tell, and we have so many more to tell now. Holland used to be being a border community, that used to be a really big smuggling route. Maybe you should have had your people carrying fake or not so fake bottles of booze. Holland was really because it was rural, so there was a lot of people crossing during Prohibition between 1920 and 1933. I often thought there's going to have to be a time and a place for the Rum Runners Run,
Right.
in honor of the people who used to break the law during Prohibition.
Right.
And I mean,
our insurance would go up if we
the CCC trail run. I mean, we'll build off the history of the CCC going there to build the trails. I mean, and that's very timely with economic difficulties and in this area. So I think there's lots that
And
we
I
can
have
build off.
photos. I don't have photos of the camp there, but I'm not sure if the CCC camped at the lake or not, but I do have photos of the CCC camps that were located at Burke.
Okay.
So I have some stuff that might help you. Some
Yeah, that would be
photos
great.
of the CCC.
And people like that. I mean, we're not. We push a concept. We push a feel to our races, and I think people identify with that. And I think that's kind of why we have grown.
So part of the race isn't visiting the nude beach right at the foot of the CCC place.
Well, that's discretionary.
You can always go off trail.
All right, we only have about 5 more minutes left. What more would you like to tell the viewers?
For me, it would be get out and volunteer. Some people always are asking, what can they do? What can they do? And as much as financial is one of the number one things that we need, we always need volunteers to help out with what we do. So go on our website and sign up to volunteer or even to pledge this time of the year. We're getting more and more calls for help on a regular basis. So just go out and donate to the Halo Foundation.
Now, has this taken the Wright family by surprise, the amount of community support? Because, when were you founded, the Halo?
Oh goodness, it was. I'm gonna misspeak. I'm sure it was about 2011, I believe.
And now you're like a household name.
We are a household
And
name.
if you read the obituaries, and so many of them end now donate. It's either the two places that people seem to donate to is the Halo Fund or the Frontier Animal Society. Both very good causes.
Right.
So, but does that surprise you?
Yes and no. Obviously, being from this community my whole life, the support doesn't surprise me in the sense that no matter what it's been, whether it's been the Halo Foundation or whether someone's, loses their home in a fire, the community has always come out and has always been super supportive. But definitely, I think just the overwhelming support that we get, I think, is surprising in the sense that people really are. They're excited, and I think the part where we help someone, they come back and their gratitude. I think it's the gratitude. Like we send, some money, and it could be $250, but you would think that we sent them, a lottery ticket to win $1 million. Like their gratitude doesn't waver depending on the value. They're just extremely happy and grateful that there are people out there willing to help them.
Have you had any of your people you gave money to help them through their fight with cancer? Have you had them come back to you and become volunteers?
Yes, definitely.
Right. And how come the two of you adopted this cause for your races?
We wanted to help our community, and it spoke a lot for us. Cancer in our community is it's hard for everyone, and anything little that we can do, and it might not be a lot, and it's what we can do. I can't say that more. Is we want to help. We want people to recognize people need help in this community, and if it's putting on events to raise money, if that's the way that we can do this, then that's how Heidi and I are going to do that.
I see in the news occasionally people getting spotlighted, or it's something going viral on Facebook or the internet about somebody doing something good for people, and I think that's nice. But on the other hand, I still think that's a kind of a way of life, at least for a segment of our population. But I do think you're doing, in you and the Wright family, you're really doing something right with all your workers here, because I see a lot of people, they come up with great ideas, and they're great ideas, but they can't get it moving, because ideas is one thing, and then you have to make sure everybody knows about it, because trying to get your message out is if you have the internet, you have newspapers, you have TV, and a lot of that stuff costs money too.
Right, and you're right about that. And part of getting out there is Anthony and Heidi they're part of the Halo Foundation in the sense that we consider ourselves one. We don't consider ourselves, they're the bike races, I'm the Halo Foundation. We've always been one, but they aren't. They need to be more recognized for what they're bringing to the community outside of Halo. They're definitely 100% a part of Halo, but Anthony and Heidi have created the bike races and now the trail runs for the community, but also to just let outside members of the world know what we live in every day and how amazing it is, not just the bad. So, but part of where I'm going into is part of the partnership is Heidi's going to, be there to help Halo to get out the name of Halo, and also the events that we do that are not just associated with the bike races. But you're right, it's costly, but social media and being really good at it has helped the knowledge of Halo.
And we've worked with a minuscule budget and roll up your sleeves, get it done kind of attitude.
Right.
Now, is your quasi brother-in-law? I say quasi because you're not married into the family quite.
Right.
is
I'm the only one that does not carry the right name. Right.
is Ron, is he still having his fishing derby for Halo this year?
He does the fishing derby every year, and a lot of the proceeds go to the Halo
So
Foundation.
it'll be safe to say this year, he comes on one of my shows every year.
Yeah.
And so this year I'm going to invite you on so you can help drag some, okay, Ron's a little shy.
Oh, yeah.
And we're gonna get him on with you this year and to talk about the fishing derby.
All right.
So, okay.
Sounds like a plan.
I think you guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
the
you.
community should be proud of you, and that's all of you, and that's all of everybody involved with Halo. Because as I said, you've become quite the phenomena, and you're not just asking for money. You're giving back to the community at the same time and bringing them a bit of excitement.
Right. Helping local businesses
Right.
by bringing people in.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay, well, thanks for
Great.
coming on.
Thanks
you.
for having
Having
us.
us.
And thank you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.